Hey everybody, it's Tim from Everyday Tactical Vids, out doing a survival day. If you hear some splashing and some panting in the background, that's the dogs. I'm just out here doing some hiking, hanging out, and working on some survival skill stuff. I want to show you a couple things today and kind of a variety of different topics we'll talk about, so let's jump into it. First thing I want to show you here is we have wild blueberries, and obviously when you can identify them, great wild edible, very delicious, a lot of nutrition. Some people say that blueberries and pomegranates are some of the best fruits out there as far as what they give you with vitamins and antioxidants and things like that. What I do want to note though is if you look over here, very close to where we are looking at the wild blueberries, there are other berries that are a little bit darker but look very similar. So again, when you find a wild edible, you can get really excited and say, oh wow, I know what this is, but make sure that you're being cautious the entire time you're harvesting and collecting, because there are other things that may not be edible or that look similar but are not the same thing. I'm not going to go into the identification of all the different types of things that look like blueberries, but just be aware, you got these ones right here that are not blueberries, and then you probably can't tell from the distance, but we're talking probably 8 feet away, you've got real wild blueberries. So something just to be cautious of. Here you go up close, a comparison of the blueberries and these other berries that are in the area. These ones that have the leaves attached to them, which are not the blueberries, are a bit darker, but even in the camera it's a little bit hard to tell. So as you'll see, I'm going to avoid those ones, and instead I'm going to eat these ones. One other note on blueberry collection is that you can see the bush is about neck level, chest level for me where these berries are. I'm about 6'2", as I often tell you guys, just so you know comparison with gear review and stuff. But when you're picking blueberries, sometimes if you get ones that are low to the ground, animals, particularly foxes, will come and feed on them, and then they'll urinate, and then people will actually pick berries that the foxes have urinated on, and then you can get pretty sick. I had my brother's friend up in Maine did that one time because they were picking these berries that were low to the ground. So if you can, the higher the berries, the better, because you got less of a chance of contamination in that way. Something I want to show you as far as good tinder, a good way to start fires, is that depending on the season you have, you've got these, this is at the end of the blueberry branch, and you've got basically these caterpillar nests, that are being built. And if you just pull off the dead leaves, you can see right here, let me put it in the sun, lots of dead leaves. And this one doesn't have a ton, but you can see a little bit of their webbing, which is obviously very, very flammable. And there are a bunch back here as well. So just another way to grab tinder. I was going to get some cattail because I know we're down here by the water, but it's a little swampy to walk out into where the cattail is, so this is another good option. Okay, we're going to get a fire started to make some hemlock tea. I want to show you this carabiner survival kit made with one of the tack links from ITW, and I'll talk about this in a little bit, but I'm going to start it with the ferro rod and the knife that are on this little kit. As you can see here, what I did is I just found some old bricks. This is an old logging area, so a lot of abandoned shacks and things like that, just left here in the woods for years and years. But built my fire in between these two bricks, and now I have something to put my cup on as I boil my water. I generally like to boil water, get it purified, and then toss my hemlock, blueberries, whatever it is that I'm making a tea out of or whatever I'm cooking. So we'll get this boiling, throw in some of that hemlock and blueberry, and then have a nice little drink. As you can see here, I got this water to a rolling boil. You can also see that the fire is kind of dancing around it. One of the challenges of this type of setup is that this is your limited oxygen flow, as opposed to a fire where it's open on all sides. That's why having some sort of hanger to hang a pot or a bottle or something to boil water in is much easier. But this just means a little bit more constant tending. Once you're at a rolling boil, some people wait for a minute or two, some people say it's good right there, and then you're good to go. I want to give you a chance to see the final product here. As you can see, it's quite blue or kind of purplish. Obviously, it's from the blueberries. Some people like to strain out the hemlock, take out the blueberries. I'll just drink it and make sure they don't swallow too much of that stuff. But very simple way to make a nice healthy tea.